Welcome everyone. This is Greg Ferris once again with a weekly training session for you guys. I thought it was appropriate to title this week Second Thoughts because that's pretty much what I've been having this whole, this is my 5th week of kind of training this way in a really non-traditional intensity and volume and a lot of things. And the second thoughts really has to do with question everything that you've been taught about training, and really just in general in life. If you want to think about it, we always get really cozy in kind of our own little limitations in our workouts when it talks about fitness and things like that. They're always kind of afraid to try new stuff. Even myself, I was always kind of, I was in love with 531. Don't get me wrong, I made insane gains on it, and I always had kind of second thoughts on, like, the workouts weren't crazy, intense, and maybe I could be pushing myself a little bit more. But I always just kind of kept with it because, like, well, you can't do more than that because you're going to overtrain, and then, you're going to get hurt and all this stuff. But I came to a point where I just kind of felt like I was sick of having not mediocre workouts, but just having mediocre intensity in the gym. And don't get me wrong, I made great strength gains on 531, and I recommend it as a program. And I recommend a lot of programs to people that are a lot less intense than what I'm doing at the moment. But at the same time, it's important to realize that science and past programs can only take us so far. And that it's always fun and challenging, of course, to kind of test those limitations. That's what I've been doing these past 5 weeks. Just testing everything that I've been taught before about frequency, about intensity, and so far it's been amazing. So I'll kind of talk about some of my training here now, guys. I had some issues with my deadlifts this week, so this was actually a lift that you could say I missed it, but I kind of just gave up because I've just been so out of whack with my sumos the past 3 or 4 sessions. That was at 355 there, and you literally see the weight like swinging at the top. That is something that I have no idea where that started to come from, but that was actually happening later on in the week as well. So I hit that 355, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to try to pull conventional for a while. So I did all of my back off stuff conventional. I think I just started at like 225 and worked my way up to 265 just because I hadn't pulled conventional in at least a few months. So my form here was definitely rusty, but it felt pretty damn good for not doing it in a while, and I went quite a bit heavier later on in the week. So this was my second squat session, so I maxed out 3 times this week and then kind of did a DUP fashion with the back off sets. So this was a 345. Didn't feel amazing, so I stopped here on this day. It just wasn't feeling awesome. But the 3x3s were feeling pretty good after this. So overall, as far as the squat frequency that I've been dealing with, which is at least 3 times a week now, that's like bare minimum. It's been great. I think the highest I had ever squatted during 531 was 335, and that was for a single. And then the first week I attempted, actually that was the first week I attempted a max out, and the second week was 345, and the 345 I almost got stapled, and it was horrible. So the frequent squatting, needless to say, has been incredibly helpful for me as far as perceived exertion of the weight, and also just getting a lot stronger, as you can see with my 370 squat later. I also wanted to throw this in because I saw Bryce Lewis doing this, and I thought I'd just give it a shot because I like Bryce Lewis. And I love this 45-degree hyperextension because we don't have a glute ham. I want to show it to you guys because I got an insane glute contraction on these. I usually do them just without the band, and I thought I would just try them, and my glute activation was incredible. So something else to manipulate if you guys want to look into that. And then my Friday session for deadlifts, this is when I actually went all conventional. I just decided to switch up, worked my way up. This was a 315 for a triple, I believe. And I'm still having that issue, which is very strange to me, that I'm pulling unevenly. I do pull over under, but I've done that for a very long time and I had no issues. So to me, I think it's not really that. I think it has to do with something else as far as my form here. but you can see on every single rep, the arm closer to the screen here, my right arm is coming further back, and it kind of like, especially when I lock out at the top, it just kind of like swings. It is really strange. I've never seen a problem with it before with myself or anyone else, so I definitely need to figure that out. And one of the big cues that I forgot about just because I haven't conventional in so long is keeping my chest up. I have very short arms anyways, so when I don't keep my chest up, it can quickly turn into a straight leg deadlift. So again, to work on form, I did some speed pulls. I think I did like 3 sets of 5 or something like that. And I'm going to incorporate just like a speed pull day next week as well, just because I think that I need more practice with the deadlift, especially now switching over to conventional. So my form is really bad. My strength is really bad. It's probably surpassed my suckiness of my bench press at this point. So I need to just be more frequent with it, practice more, and I think it will come with time. So this was my last training session of the week. So I started off with squats here. I was warming up and I was feeling incredibly good, and then this 345 looked shallow and it didn't feel good at all. I was actually going to go for a 375, but after feeling that and looking at that, I was like, I'll just go for 370. So I was pretty pleased with my depth here on 370. I don't have a side angle, which is kind of the definite way you can check, obviously, but I think this would pass in a powerlifting meet as far as depth goes, but again, it's hard to tell. And that felt pretty good, but I'm just in a great rhythm with squat right now. I feel really tight with it. No pains. I had some aches in my upper left hamstring glute, and then also the back of my right knee, but just been killing mobility work, and it's felt pretty damn good. So I finished it off with some 335 singles. Like I said, I did some DUP as far as the assistance work or volume work after my max outs of 3 sets of 5, 3 sets of 3, and then 3 sets of 1. So next week the plan is to finish out small lob junior for bench press. I'm also not squatting. I'm not maxing out on squats next week. I am doing another kind of DUP fashion that I've set up, and then the plan for deadlift frequency is 3 times a week. I'll have a 3x5 day, an 8x3 day, which would be pretty much practice. And then Friday as well, I'll do 3x3. So that's my plan for next week. 4 bench press sessions. I'm sorry, 3 squat sessions. Wow, and 3 deadlift sessions. So no max outs next week, which would be a change for me. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this training. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you next week. Thank you.